Alright guys, we're all Russell here, and I just want to talk about a movie that came out. Came out on the 17th of December, and I only saw it today, 5 days later. But I want to talk about it because this is going to be totally off book. I've only just got back from seeing it, and it was great. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, one, who the hell are you? Two, I'm talking about Star Wars. Star Wars The Force Awakens, the 7th movie in the trilogy of movies that has had its ups and downs, specifically of recent. But Star Wars The Force Awakens brings it back to the prime of Star Wars. This is the second best Star Wars movie. This movie was fantastic. It was great. It was gripping. There was an engrossing narrative. Incredible action scenes. So what I want to do in this little discussion thing is, this is totally off book. I have no notes whatsoever. I just want to talk about a few things I liked, a few things I didn't like, and just give you an overall rating. Or I'll give it a rating, I guess. So if we start with the positives, we've got to look at the new characters they've added into the universe. If we look on the hero side, we've got Finn, we've got Rey, BB-8, we've got Poe Dameron, and I think they're the main ones anyway. So you've got Finn is really cool. I like Finn. I think his story arc's really neat. I think the fact that he left the Order, who were the new Essential Empire, he left the Order because he saw how ruthless and how aggressive and vicious they were towards a group on Jakku, which is the first planet you see, and kind of one of the only really two planets you see in the whole thing. Kind of annoying, there's only two planets. And Jakku is essentially... I'll talk about that in a minute. So yeah, when Finn sees all the stormtroopers just murdering innocent people, he turns and he decides this isn't what I want. And he saves Poe Dameron, who is the best pilot in the Resistance. It's not called the Rebel Alliance anymore, it's called the Resistance for some reason. But yeah, Finn saves him, gets him off the Star Destroyer, whatever, and they start their adventure. So Finn's really cool. I like his story arc. I think I like Rey even more. Rey is such a cool character for two things. One, she starts out as a scavenger, and she meets BB-8 first. BB-8's really cool, by the way. And she has this relationship with Finn, which it's clearly obvious they are romance objects. But that's fine. I feel like I genuinely, as a fan, want that. I do want them to... I don't think they're at the point where they love each other, but I do want them to fall in love at some point. They do. It's obvious that Finn and Rey have feelings for each other. Remotely obvious. Come on, if you watch the movie, you'll understand. I probably should have mentioned this as spoilers. Never mind. So yeah, I'm going to put that in the title. I'm going to say this is spoilers. So yeah, it's obvious that Finn and Rey are in love with each other. Well, they will be in love with each other, sorry, at some point. But at the moment, they do have feelings for one another. And by the end of the movie, they do split up. I'll talk about that in a minute. There's also Poe Dameron, who is cool, but unfortunately, he's kind of a repeat. He seems like Han Solo and Dash Rendar from Star Wars Shadow of the Empire just put together. That's Poe Dameron for you. He's cool, but he doesn't actually get much screen time either, which is weird. I thought he'd be like one of the main heroes. And finally, there's BB-8, who's been like the most marketed thing probably in Star Wars outside of Kylo Ren, who we'll get to in a minute. BB-8's cool. The banter between him, Rey, and Finn is especially funny. It's a very humorous movie. I was surprised how light it was in terms of how light-hearted it was in terms of humour. It's nice to see that Disney have made like some Marvel movies, and especially this Star Wars movie, quite humorous. Ant-Man was very funny. Avengers had some lines of dialogue that were kind of funny. Not the Captain America one, but... And this movie had a lot of funny lines of dialogue, mainly Rey, Finn, and BB-8. So that's it for the main new characters on the hero side. On the villain side, you've got all of them, essentially. There's Kylo Ren, who we'll talk about in a minute. But you've got Captain Phasma, who is the Silver Stormtrooper. It's a woman, which is really nice. They could have done something with that. But she does nothing the whole movie. She does absolutely nothing. Captain Phasma is useless. She looks incredible. It's basically Boba Fett. Looks awesome. No substance. Does nothing whatsoever. And in the end gets thrown out of an airlock. And then we move on to the other main villain, who we thought was the main villain, in Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren... Okay, so this is a spoiler video, so I am going to give you spoilers. Kylo Ren is Ben Solo, the son of Han Solo and Leia. Kylo Ren being the son of Han and Leia was my second choice. My second choice. I, by the way, went into Star Wars knowing two things. I went in there knowing that Han Solo died, spoiler alert. Yeah, I've already said that. And that Ben Solo was Kylo Ren. So I did know that going in, but before I went in, I did know. Before I even checked spoilers, I knew it was going to be, to be honest, Han Solo's son, because they needed somebody of some importance, even though it is a new character, and it does kind of annoy me. But yeah, I did know that, so that's a little bit obvious. Another thing about Kylo Ren that sort of annoyed me was that he's very Anakin Skywalker. And that's not a good thing. I watched the film and I was looking at him and like, oh my god, it's Anakin Skywalker. And that's not something I want to do. I want to say, oh my god, it's Han Solo, not oh my god, it's Anakin Skywalker. He just rages and starts cutting up computers at one point. And you're like, what are you doing? There's a point where one of his officers is speaking back to him and Kylo Ren does nothing. Kylo Ren does nothing to it whatsoever. He just sort of gives him a quip, what he thinks is a quip, what he thinks is a comeback, and that's it. Kylo Ren is honestly, I don't think, a very good villain. I think they need to establish him a bit more. They need to give him some real power. He needs to be killing people left, right, and centre to me. He killed literally one, I think, two people in this whole movie, and that was it. He needs to be powerful and almighty. And while his lightsaber is really, really cool, not incredibly, it's kind of a hazard, if I'm honest. And he does actually use the side blades during one of the fights, which I'll get to in a minute when I'm talking about other good things. But they need to make Kylo Ren this awesome villain that he could be. Another thing about Kylo Ren did disappoint me in this movie. When he takes the mask off, he's played by, I think, Adam Driver. Adam Driver isn't really intimidating. So when he takes the mask off, you're just looking at this guy and you're like, you look like one of the Jonas Brothers. Like, that's... I don't know who cast him. His acting's good, it's just he doesn't look the part. That's probably not his fault, to be honest. It's hard to look intimidating. When he has the mask on, he looks fine. He looks really, really fine. The voice is good. It's just, he doesn't look intimidating without the mask on. And he took the mask off way too many times. He took it off when he was talking to Rey while he was interrogating her. He took it off when he was talking to Han Solo on the bridge, which we'll now talk about, actually. The bridge scene where Han Solo dies. It was tragic. It was tragic. I wouldn't say I was emotional or anything, but it felt important, and I think that was a good thing. I wasn't emotional for it, but it felt important. This is probably one of the biggest deaths in a movie in, what, like 10, 20 years. So, just consider that. It's so big that Han Solo was killed. And by Kylo Ren, I did know, of course, Kylo Ren was going to do it before this, but I predicted that Han Solo was going to die anyway, to be honest. A good thing as well, I do want to focus... There's so many good things, though. I do think Kylo Ren was a huge disappointment as a villain, but I hope going forward they can make changes to him because of how good some of the other things were. The relationship between Finn and Rey was brilliant. BB-8 was brilliant. I think some of the returning characters... Leia had a small role, but I think she was really cool. C-3PO was in this movie, literally to say C-3PO has been in all the Star Wars movies, all 8 of them, including Clone Wars. That's the only reason C-3PO was in this movie. That kind of the only reason R2 was in it as well, to be honest. They just made a reason for R2 to be in it, about the map trying to find Luke. The whole point is that... the whole point of the whole plot, really, is that they're trying to find Luke Skywalker. They find him in the end because of 2 maps. One is on R2-D2, one is on BB-8. So that's the only reason R2 is in the movie, to be honest. The lightsaber battles are the best I've ever looked. A specific one on... the planet, on the Starkiller base. When it said Starkiller base, I immediately felt Force Unleashed, and then remembered it's not canon. So yeah, the Starkiller base thing's really cool. The battle between them looks beautiful. It's between Kylo Ren and Rey, and it's fantastic, and it's really well choreographed, and it's probably the best fight I've ever done. So kudos there on another job well done. It's hard because I'm going just off my head. There's something I really want to notice. Oh, Chewie's moment of rage where Han dies, where he shoots Kylo Ren with his crossbow. Chewie's crossbow was actually a joke in this movie because Han Solo keeps using it and he's like, this is actually really powerful. Why have I never used that before? And that's what fans are asking. We're like, why have you never used a crossbow before? It's really powerful. But Chewie shoots Kylo Ren, boom, with his bowcaster, hits Kylo Ren, injures Kylo Ren. That is the only reason I think that they can make for why Kylo Ren is bested by Rey in that fight. And why Kylo Ren really puts up why Finn gets to put up a fight against Kylo Ren when they're having their battle. So yeah, Chewie shoots Kylo Ren, then shoots a bunch of stormtroopers. That was really cool to see Chewie get really angry because Chewie showed pure emotion. We needed that for the death of Han Solo. Rey showed emotion, Finn showed emotion. It was very cool because it felt like A New Hope. It felt like the A New Hope moment where Ben Kenobi dies and we're all like, no! And that's literally what Rey and Finn did. And you're probably going to notice, I'm focusing a lot on Rey and Finn. They're the two best characters. They're the two best characters. They're the most developed. They're the ones who are going to get the most out of it. And in the end, they are going to come back together and have a relationship. If they don't, I'll be very surprised. But from how this movie ended with the kiss on the forehead from Rey, I doubt it. Another negative that I can think of, which just came to mind, is that Star Wars are getting quite lazy with their planet designs. So Jakku is Tatooine. Jakku is literally just Tatooine. It is sand, and I know that's like, oh, it's sand. Well, there's loads of planets for sand. No, it's Tatooine. It literally looks like Tatooine. It looks like the Dune Sea. And the other planet they were on, which didn't even get a name, literally looked like Yavin 4 crossed with Endor. That's what I got from it. Yavin 4, Endor, and there was one more. I can't remember what the other one was going to say. But yeah, it kind of looks like Yavin 4 and Endor. So they are getting a little bit lazy with the designs. But overall, this movie was great. I was literally shocked how good this movie was. Watching it, wearing my Star Wars shirt. When I sat there ready to watch it, I was like, ready. And then the Star Wars thing flashes, and I got in the mode. I was like, yes, this is a Star Wars movie. I've never seen a Star Wars movie in the cinema. I don't think I went to watch Revenge of the Sith. So, I've never seen a Star Wars movie, and this one felt so good. This is the best Star Wars movie in years. It's the second best Star Wars movie, in my opinion. Best one's Empire, then this one. This was such a good movie. I loved it. Not my favourite movie of the year. That goes to Mad Max. Good job, Mad Max. But Star Wars is one of the best movies this year that I've seen. In terms of Academy, is it going to win anything? Probably not. But in terms of movies I've seen this year, I haven't seen too many. I've only seen about 5. But it is one of the best movies I've seen this year. Even though Ant-Man and Age of Ultron and, Mad Max and Inside Out were all great too. But Star Wars was good just because of what it was and what it needed to be. And I think it was exactly what it needed to be. It started the series off well. It introduced us to new characters. One more thing I will say is that the Supreme Leader is the real villain of the Order. Sorry, I keep forgetting the name. I keep going to say Empire, and I remember it's not the Empire. The Supreme Leader, who is the real leader of the Order, I would like to know a little bit more about him. It's basically the Emperor to Darth Vader. He is the Emperor to Kylo Ren's Darth Vader. So it's going to be interesting to see how that dynamic works. I hope to God. My real issue with now is that I think Kylo Ren might turn... I was going to say turn face. Turn to a hero in the last one. And I don't want that. Keep him as a villain. Make him a strong, powerful and evil villain. Have him kill off Leia. Sure, why not? He killed off Han, why did he kill off his mother as well? So, thanks for watching, guys. I know this has been a little bit impromptu. It's just because I was so shocked how good this movie was and how much I enjoyed it. And as someone I'm a Star Wars fan. So, I mean, if you haven't seen this movie, go check it out. If the cinemas aren't, packed. It was pretty packed today. So, thanks for watching, guys. This has been Revolver Ocelot with my Star Wars discussion. Remember spoilers, guys. So, don't shout at me if I spoil something for you. It will say spoilers in the title. But this has been Revolver Ocelot. Like, comment, subscribe for more. So tell me in the comments. I want to know, what did you think to Kylo Ren? Did you think he was a good enough villain? Do you think he was showed as a good villain? Because I don't think he was. I think he was raging too much. I don't think he was powerful enough. I don't think his men treated him like he was a villain, to be honest. I think they treated him like he was below them. What do you think to Finn and Rey? Do you think they're going to be a relationship? Do you think they're going to be in love, etc.? Who's your favourite new character they've added? Who's your favourite character they brought back? I would say my favourite character they brought back was Chewie, even though it was really awesome, and I need to get this in the end, to see Admiral Akbar and Neo Nem, even though Neo Nem only got one scene and he didn't say a word. But Admiral Akbar was there, which was amazing. But so yeah, I want you to tell me, who's your favourite new character? Do you think Finn and Rey will start a relationship? What did you think to Kylo Ren? Do you think he was portrayed well? And who's your favourite returning character? Like, comment, and subscribe for more, guys. This has been Revolver Ocelot.